is the Pro Wrestling Spotlight, presented by Hami Media and the Pro Wrestling Reflection, where we discuss the very best of the best in pro wrestling history.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
The two soundest wrestlers in the World Wrestling Federation, maybe in the history of the World Wrestling Federation, are right here, right now. Mr. Perfect and the excellence of execution, the Hitman.
WrestleMania weekend isn't complete without the Heartbreak Kid, and he is on his way.
He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family.
They think they got the answers. I change the question.
You will rest in peace.
Get used to it in Ric Flair. Who you're looking at, the man.
Oh, you done did it now. Chaos, you should have put this one in the vault, man. They not ready. They don't know what's coming, man. Oh, we gonna drop this on them right here. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for none of this. Your boy's a bad man. Then we invading the streets, make them clap a rapper skirt. They be dropping the heat. Shock the world, now I'm standing alone. I flip fools like them clamshell cellular phones.
What's going on there, Reflectionites? What is going on there to the Haminites, the Vetoites, and the probationary PWCites? See, Jimmy, we gave you an extra week. We gave you an extra week so you could play catch up with the PWR podcast, and you blew it, man. Just like Robert De Niro said, you blew it. You could have caught up. We could have had all the PWR episodes. Could have been binge watching for all the PWCites, but you didn't do that. That's why you still on probation. That's why you still on solitary confinement with the warden professor. But anyway, I'm gonna hear nor there. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a jovial mood for all the Magnificent Seven members. The Green Pieces, the Philip Scott Wood, the Donnie Day Ones, the Michael Davises, the Jeff Lipmans, the SNX Express. You know who. I see the thumb go up. You know who you are. But you know what? Before I do the introductions of myself and my partner in crime, before anything, I must warn the Reflectionites. You know, I'm not the stupid director of the Secret Service. I'm transparent and I give you the truth. I let you know what's gonna happen. This is a very special PWR Spotlight, Reflectionites. This is gonna be the most emotional spotlight for the professor. Maybe for TW, but I don't know. I'm not gonna speak for him, but I'm being transparent. You might see a tear come down the professor's eyes. Because when I'm gonna talk about this man, no diddy, Reflectionites, I'm gonna talk about him with such grace, with such apathy, with such emotion. I might win an Emmy, I don't know, but it's gonna be one of those kind of episodes that you might have to, bring a handkerchief, Reflectionites. You might get a tear in your eye. But anyway, before I do that, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have a happy times. And I might cry, but again, I'm just being transparent. Not like that stupid Secret Service director who couldn't tell the truth if you put a gun to her head. But anyway, neither here nor there. But I must introduce myself because I am vain like that. I must introduce myself because I'm always transparent with you, Reflectionites. I am the most jovial one. I am the most effervescent one. I am the most studious one. But most importantly, I am the glorious one. The only objective man in this IWC, YWC, PWC punditry. The only objective man that if someone tried to shoot at you, I would tell you how I fucked up. I would take the blame. I would take all the blame. I would never say, I can't answer that question. I would never tell you it's going to take 60 days. I would never tell you, I'm not going to tell you I'm going to write a book and tell you what the truth was. No, I'll tell you that on the spot. The Professor Chabebe comes. And I'm not here alone. No. I am here with the conservative liberal, the liberal conservative. Reflectionites. The movie Twisters just came out. And my partner in crime is now a storm chaser. He is surviving floods. He is surviving tornadoes. He is surviving twisters. He is the storm catcher. He is the Detroit Rock City World Heavyweight Champion of the world. That's a tongue twister right there. Woo! Tommy Wonder, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. And I'm going G.O.A.T style, recording from a vehicle. Because I got no power. I got 2 trees knocked down on my street. But one good thing happened. I saw, like, the first one I saw down there, it was like the whole neighborhood all had chainsaws and was helping the people cut it down in front of their house. This other one, these people must not have had no friends because the tree just sitting there fell over. But it's no power.
That's the beauty of America. No, that's right? The beauty of it.
Apparently, two different tales because the same block, we got one tree, everybody helping out, one tree, nobody cares. But I got
that shows you
the Los Rudos limited edition Oakleys right here, baby. Prime Day. Got these things on the cheap. Normally these are $100.
And wait a minute. You know, it's been a week or so. We haven't been on the air. Did you mail out the picture to Christopher Paul Bruce Whitman?
I was about to do it today and the power went out and I can't find where I put it.
God damn it, we're blaming the power, we're blaming Mother Nature, we're blaming everybody. See? Now this sounds like
there's been a lot of stuff going on. It slipped my mind. I got it. I got the picture. I got it. It's gonna be his. I just got it. I gotta stop. I've been doing something every day for 2 weeks.
We are gonna set up a committee in Washington and we are gonna grill TW about this. This is Picturegate. This is Picturegate. What?
You forgot your favorite line when you were like, I wouldn't tell you 60 days. I wouldn't tell you I don't know. But you tell them what you always tell us. Because, you know, me and Big Ray got your back. We're going to have your back in September. We're at the Yankees game. But whenever people question your shit and your DM actions, you always tell us the same thing. $20 is $20. And you got to respect that.
Are you sure I say that? I don't say that. That's Big Ray. That's JB.
Like, $20 is $20.
That's JB. I don't know. There must be a hack on these DMs. But anyway, neither here nor there. But let's get into this, TW. Let's get into this very emotional, a very special PWR spotlight. Because we are going to do a spotlight on the greatest of all time. We are going to do a spotlight on the GOAT. You know, there's Mount Rushmores of WWE. There's Bruno, there's Pedro, there's Backlund, there's Hogan, there's Austin, there's The Rock. But of course, up on that Mount Rushmore has to be the doctor of thugonomics himself from West Newbury, Massachusetts. The man you can't see for the last 25 years. And his name is John Cena. TW, we are going to do a very different kind of spotlight because the funny thing about spotlights that we've done, you know, the chronology is kind of small. You know what I mean? There's always been like that shelf life of maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years that we can always hone in on a wrestler, their matches, their accomplishments, and all that stuff. Their errors, yeah, you're right. But with John Cena, one of the biggest, I don't know if this is a positive or a negative. Maybe TW will expound on his side. I'm going to stay on my side. Sometimes people piss on longevity, Reflectionites. Sometimes people don't appreciate longevity. And with John Cena, who started his career in 1998, give or take, in Los Angeles for Ultimate Pro Wrestling, was part of the greatest freshman class in OVW history with himself, Batista, Brock Lesnar, and Shelton Benjamin. We'll get into that in a second. But the shelf life of Cena being on TV, on major network syndicated TV, and on top of that fact, well, on top of it, I'll give it from 2005. But again, just being on TV alone, we're talking from 2002, and he has announced his retirement, Reflectionites, in 2025. That is 23 years on TV, TW. That is 23 years on major network television, whether it's USA, whether it's Paramount, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Fox. No matter where it was, he's been there. He's either been mid-card, he's been main event, and right now he's doing his swan song. He's doing his farewell tour in the next couple of months. But again, I say this to you, TW, because again, people piss on LeBron James for his longevity. And some people say he's the GOAT, some people don't say he's the GOAT.
That ain't what they put on him.
Shut up. I'm trying to say a point here. But we're not talking about LeBron James. We're not talking about the GOAT on basketball side, Reflection. We're talking about the GOAT on the wrestling side. But TW, people shit on longevity. So what say you about, before we even talk about the matches, we talk about his career and what he has brought to the table. Do you find it as a negative or a positive for his legacy to be longevity?
I find it as a positive because it's astonishing. Like, you're looking at a guy who in 1994 had his first match. I wore a singlet, leather jacket, long hair, and less than a year later, probably 9 months to 8 months later, I was wearing a flannel with a cut-off sweatshirt with some khaki shorts and the boots, dressed like I was in a Mexican gang. And even that was over. The other part wasn't over, the singlet and leather jacket. I was just a run-of-the-mill heel. But Los Rudos was over for like 3-4 years. But I knew that we couldn't come out there every week looking like the same shit we looked like the week before. So our first flannels were like this beige, and then we had some green like shirts that went with. We switched up black khakis with white khakis. So you change your looks, and then like you wearing the same clothes every time. And then we finally ended up with purple and gold as our colors, but we changed our look. But when I wrestled singles, I didn't wrestle in that shit. I wore something else because the fear of getting stale is real and it's subconscious. Like, I didn't do it because I was trying not to get stale. I just subconsciously knew I had to do it. And obviously John Cena's changed the shirt design over the years, but it's the same damn shirt. It's the same shirt, just like Austin 316's the same shirt, NWO, same shirt. They might have sold a couple variants of it, but John Cena he'll come up with a new color scheme, but he's always wearing the jorts. I personally miss the Reebok pumps, and then he ended up with whatever. And then he had a little bit of time, a baseball jersey. Other times he just wore his gear that he was selling. And for some reason, the only people that ever turned on him were the people that didn't want him to be, the Roman treatment, the John Cena treatment, the Rocky treatment. Other than that, the kids and the women who screamed for that motherfucker every step of the fucking way, they're probably still screaming for him when he came out on Raw and announced that shit, or SmackDown, whatever that was on. And he didn't change a thing. And it fucking never got old. He got old. He's got the ball spot. But he's still adored. He still moves merch. He still pops the needle or moves the needle, whatever you want to call it. And so much so. Huh?
To a degree. Yeah, you're right. I'm just agreeing with you.
And it's to the point now where he doesn't even show up to move the needle, because you don't even know he's there until he comes out, and then everyone rushes to change the channel because they're hearing that John Cena's on. But just absolute positivity. It's a testament to, one of my favorite things about him, I know we're going to talk about that stuff, but is that there's pictures of him as a kid with a cardboard championship belt that he made himself. And my history of people like Goldberg and even Sting and Luger, who are two of my all-time favorites. They were in it for the money. John Cena was in it for the love of the business. And I got none of respect for him. That's why I'm wearing my hat this way.
Absolutely. Again, Reflectionites. TW. I'm going to cry a little bit.
It's because he wore a Yankee jersey?
Well, that too. But again, since you talked about the Yankees, when you're a Yankee fan, Reflectionites, it's like a joy when you get with historians say, I was there when Babe Ruth, hit a home run, a monster home run out of Yankee Stadium. Or I watched DiMaggio. I watched Mantle. I watched Reggie. I lived during the Derek Jeter era, TW. So I got to enjoy an era of the Yankees the way, fuck him. But anyway, I got to live an era of the Yankees like fans did with those patriarchs, if you will, TW, when I say Ruth and DiMaggio and Mantle, all that stuff. And I say I lived through Jeter.
Rivera.
I lived through and Rivera and O'Neal and all that stuff. So it's the same way when people said, I went to Madison Square Garden to see Bruno. I went to WrestleMania to see Hogan. So it's the same thing. It was a pleasure to live through this era with John Cena. And I was in my 20s. Oh no, I was in my 30s enjoying John Cena. TW. I was one of those, I was one of those minority people. Not the same racial reflections. I was one of the minorities who enjoyed John Cena. When everybody was saying Cena sucks, I was the one rocking Cena shirts.
That's what made me cheer for him. I was indifferent to him, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? This guy's a heat magnet, and I started buying John Cena shirts.
Absolutely. That at first, Reflectionites, I'll be real again. I'm transparent. I'm being transparent, better than that fucking bitch.
You're trans, all right.
Shut the hell up. Anyway, I did it to troll the wrestling, the community. I did it to troll Billy Ray. I did it to troll A-Track Brown, the dirtiest of the city. But I got to respect the man. And when let's just say this, and TW, again, this is going to be a different spotlight because you know how I like to do chronology. We're going to go present, past, all the way, which way. But for me, when I started respecting John Cena and started to become a fan of his, you might not even know the match or know the pay-per-view where I started respecting him even more. Think about it.
I would think it would be the Royal Rumble where he came back early from the torn tricep.
Nope. I'll tell you when. ECW One Night Stand 2006 against RVD. I'm an ECW mark. I'm chanting for, Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Monday Night, and all that shit, TW. But the man, you said he loved the business. He never really wanted to change his character once he knew his place in wrestling, his value in wrestling. And that value, like TW said, was for the kids, maybe for the women, but mostly for the kids because of Make-A-Wish, charities, and all that stuff. But TW in the Hammerstein Ballroom, 2,000 people, give or take, he's getting booed out the building. The signs are everywhere. If Cena wins, we riot. I laughed my ass off when I did that. Cena, before even the match began.
Is that where that started? Was that match?
In what regards?
That term is blah blah blah. We riot. I've seen that.
That was the first. That was the first sign of seeing that. If Cena wins, we riot and all that stuff.
Right.
But he took it like a champion. Reflectionites. He got booed out the building. He embraced it. He threw the shirts. They threw it back at him. But that's when I respected John Cena because he took it like a champ. TW. That's where, for me, I respected John Cena. That's where, after all that, it didn't matter if people booed him. I understood what he was. I understood his contributions to the wrestling business. Because again, like you said, TW, what he does outside with the charities, with the promotions and all that stuff, people don't really, for all you Mark Tards out there, he's an ambassador to professional wrestling. He's an ambassador. Well, again,
he says nice shit about AEW.
That too. See, TW wants to harangue too, but let me just do it first, and then TW will expound himself. But Cena is an ambassador not only to WWE but to professional wrestling itself. Yes, it's politicking, Reflectionites. Cena, they politic Cena to be there, to stay there for many, many years. I'm not going to deny that, but he was there. And it mattered. And it was there, and it worked. He made the money for them. When they had to turn to PG, when they were TV 14 to PG, John Cena's character, which is very attitude era based, he had to tone it down for the kids. And he did it. Did he like it? Maybe not. But he knew he had to do it for the betterment of WWE, for the betterment of the business. So TW, expound on it, TW. Where did you find that respect for John Cena? Maybe was it a match, a moment, or was it the Rumble where you respected John Cena totally?
So here's the thing. I fucking loved him. I have an action figure of it, and I would show you this stuff. I just recently bought the hard to find John Cena translucent figure. It's just his clothes and his hat.
Did you say trans?
Yeah, but it's like he's see-through blue, right? Because you can't see me, John Cena. But when he came out, I guess he was called the Prototype in FCW. But when he came out,
Ultimate Pro Wrestling, he was called the Prototype.
Oh, okay. When he came out and challenged Kurt Angle, I thought he was green. I thought he was cheesy. But I love this look. I'm like, this dude is a star, right? All he has to do is to be able to wrestle a little bit. And then he had a good match with Kurt Angle. It was a good match. You even thought maybe Kurt was going to lose to this guy, right? But Kurt, I think, tapped him out, but I can't remember. But, and then from that point on, it was like the old saying, they strapped the rocket to him and took off. Now, once he started, I like the heel version of him when they're kind of turning on him. He turned heel and I didn't like the Eminem shit, right? But that was pop culture at the time. Eminem and John Cena have been popular at the same fucking time. It's been a parallel ride, right?
Give or take.
I did not like it at all, and that's where I kind of forgot about him, and that's when people were liking him. It wasn't until they turned him babyface where everyone turned on him. He just turned heel, and that's when people liked him. But for me, I did what you did. I'm like, oh, because first of all, I was taught not to ever show up at a wrestling show in a wrestler's T-shirt, because you're a mark, right? By then, I wasn't wrestling all the time. I was just going to visit and shit. I would show up. I remember the very first John Cena shirt I bought. It was that burgundy one, and it didn't say hustle, loyalty, respect, but it said something about respect on it, and it was burgundy. It might have been the 10-year one or something like that, 10 years of excellence or 5 years, whatever. That's the first one I ever wore into a wrestling show, and people were like, holy shit, is he wearing a John Cena shirt? Because the boys who tell you not to wear one because you're a mark if you're not are all hating John Cena because the fucking internet hates John Cena. So who's the real mark, right? So I just go in there. From that point on, I'd show up in Warrior shirts. I'd show up. I don't think I have a Roman Reigns shirt. So I always give you him. He's your credit. But I didn't know you were John Cena. And so we talked about it later because you were all about Roman Reigns when we met. But this is where the internet pisses me off. I remember John Cena coming out. I think he was number 30 or 29. You corrected me before. It wasn't Boston. It was
2008 Madison Square Garden Royal Rumble. He came out 30th as a surprise.
Yeah. And everyone was like, holy shit, because he was supposed to be out like a year with this torn tricep, like CM Punk currently is, apparently. But anyway, he came out, and I remember thinking, wow. Like, I was kind of already expecting him because of the fucking internet, right? But I also was like, I know motherfucker's short tricep. He ain't coming back. So when he came back and his arms looked as big as fucking ever, I was like, this dude is dedicated. Like, there's no doubt about it. This guy he's a team player, and he's back. Whether or not, I personally believe the dude's probably on the HGH. He's not. He says he's not on steroids, and the proof is he looks the same today as he did body type in 2002. But regardless of all that motherfucker healed like Wolverine, or he never really was hurt and was off making a fucking movie or something, and then came back. But when he got hurt with that tricep, I think it was at a pretty bad time for him to get hurt. Like, they needed him, so it didn't feel like he was going on me. Not like when Shawn Michaels lost to Austin and you knew he was leaving.
It was a match in 2007, like September of 2007 Raw. It was a freak accident.
In 3 months.
And he came back in three or 4 months tops, and then people were surprised. I'm just giving you the logistics.
But he didn't just come back and phone it in. He came back and did good, and I don't mean did good by winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, he looked good out there. He didn't look, like he was favoring his arm to not get hurt, and only came back early for the pop and the need. But that, and then I still say I like the Cody story. I like that, but to me, the greatest wrestling angle or program in the last 25 years is The Rock and John Cena spread out over 3 WrestleManias. It's, to me...
Hold that. I know you want...
I'm not going to talk about the match, but you asked me what are the things that made me just be like, this guy's legit. It was coming back from the tricep. It was his look when he wrestled Kurt Angle. But to me, he solidified himself as the go-to guy from that point on, that you could have a 3 WrestleMania program, because you got to count where he lost to the fucking Miz, Who else can say they put the Miz over at WrestleMania for the world title? John fucking Cena. Same guy put RVD over for the world title at your place. And this guy doesn't just take, he gives. And he made a fucking 2-year-long 3 WrestleMania program with the fucking Rock, who was barely there.
There you go. Just great examples of the respect that me and TW have for John Cena. So, TW, I'm going to be quick on the Ultimate Pro Wrestling and OVW stuff because, again, it's part of the history. But I'll just give you a little bit of like nuanced reflection because this is a spotlight. He was born April 23rd, 1977. But with that bald spot, he really looks older. I don't know why, but being born, he's a Taurus, just like
it's that Team Edward tan makes him look like someone's grandpa.
That too. I'm just saying,
he's pale as fuck, dude.
but I'm 47. He's 47. He looks like he's 67. I don't know, something wrong with the birth certificate. I don't know, maybe. I think he's born maybe in 50. He was born in 67, not 77. But that's just me. That's my conspiracy theory. But we're not talking about that. But he was born April 23rd, 1977. Fellow Taurus. There you go. Oh, but anyway, TW, like you said, he had the passion. He loved the business. His favorite wrestler growing up was Hulk Hogan. So what do? He moved to Los Angeles, California, to start his passion for pro wrestling. But before pro wrestling, TW, with the body, the way he looked, he had some sprinklings because when you're in California, TW, you got to do all the Epstein rules. I don't know, he got fucked in the ass, but he did those gladiator type shows, those B shows. It wasn't American Gladiators, but he did that shit because the name Prototype came around for some strange reason. But in California, he also joined Ultimate Pro Wrestling. Now, TW, we talk about the class that he was from with Ohio Valley Wrestling. We keep saying the best, you could say freshman class, whatever Reflectionites of himself, Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, and Dave Bautista. We could say that, TW. But Ultimate Pro
Randy
Wrestling
wasn't part of that one?
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But that's that's one of the greatest freshman classes ever for wrestling.
There's not
training.
A better class.
Right. But it's Ultimate Pro Wrestling in California, TW. You know who was there with John Cena?
R-Truth.
No. Samoa Joe. You know who else was there? Christopher Daniels was in Ultimate Pro Wrestling. So it's not too shabby of a class in Ultimate Pro Wrestling. I don't know if the Young Bucks were there, but I'm not going to count them no matter what. But to have Samoa Joe there, I think Frankie Kazarian was also in Ultimate Pro Wrestling too. That's a good crop of people too, of untapped potential, TW. So what say you about Ultimate Pro Wrestling, knowing that he came, he trained with Samoa Joe, he trained with Christopher Daniels and all that stuff.
Well, since I'm finding this out for the first time, you probably got some AEW motherfuckers about to be crying in the corner going, no, he's not. Samoa Joe didn't sully himself with that WWE John Cena.
You gotta start somewhere. So it's
right.
It is what it is.
See, I didn't know any of that. I literally thought his dad was a promoter and he worked for his dad and then went to Ohio Valley Wrestling and then went to the WWE. I had no idea. So his dad must have started promoting wrestling because of him.
Well, you don't want nepotism, number one. Number two, you don't want to be stagnant in the Massachusetts area. I guess he had not delusions of grandeur, but he thought of the bigger picture. He thought
ain't delusions anymore.
No, it's not delusions, but I think the best decision he made was he did not want to be John Cena.
So his dad did run shows there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did run shows in the Massachusetts area and all that stuff.
I thought, so he did it before John became a wrestler.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
John Kerry Von Erich's dad is what he did, is what you're telling me.
Again, I'm not going there. We're just going to celebrate John Cena to a degree.
I'm saying he left the family business and moved to went to be a Beverly Hillbilly.
But I don't think it's not leaving there. I just think he didn't want to be stagnant in the East Coast area, being John Cena Jr. and just being territorial or just indie right there, because then there was no opportunity for, or if he got that WWE developmental contract, it would have came with a different kind of like Looking Glass, TW. He was just a different list.
He made up for it. He got his dad a fucking job and Tori Wilson. He's did all right.
There you go. So Ultimate Pro Wrestling then went down to Ohio Valley Wrestling and all that stuff. But TW, everything, the start of the legacy, the start of the GOAT conversation, if you will, Reflectionites, of John Cena started in June of 2002 during, well, TW, it's kind of funny here because when he made that debut in June of 2002 on the SmackDown, WWE was in a transitional phase. Remember, Steve Austin was mending his injuries. He was, he was in the ring. He was out of the ring. He was mending those injuries. And of course, he retired officially in 2003, you could say. The Rock, he was already Mr. Hollywood himself and all that stuff. So, and Undertaker was being the Undertaker. He was, he was the locker room leader, but there was a gap. You had a lot of great wrestlers. Kurt Angle, like you said, was I was a Kurt Angle fan, TW. I was cheering for Kurt Angle. I wanted him to have that torch. But I'm realistic, TW. Kurt Angle wasn't, you had to make Kurt Angle into Hulk Hogan, and Kurt Angle wasn't Hulk Hogan, and you couldn't create real American Kurt Angle in the 2000s. Just wasn't going to work with the internet and the Jerry Springer era and the Attitude and all that stuff. It just wasn't going to work. So here comes this uppity muck from West Newbury, Massachusetts, John Cena in that orange tight Speedo jorts, if you will, Reflectionites.
Yeah.
And then he said
Billy Gunn shorts.
Or Billy Gunn shorts. Yeah, you go with that. But TW, he got in Kurt Angle's face. He said those two words, ruthless aggression, gave him the slap. And 13 minutes later, he lost by a pinning combination. It wasn't a tap out, but TW, there was something there. We don't know what it was because, again, like you said, TW, he was very plain. He was very mundane. He had to change from being the prototype. He had to change from his OVW character because, again, once you're on the main roster, you got to repay your dues. So what say you, TW, about that debut of John Cena in 2002 on SmackDown? The impact that we didn't even know that was going to have.
There's two debuts that I can recall from back then. Him and Randy Orton walking out and me going, who the fuck is this skinny little motherfucker? Bob Orton has a kid. But both of them came out. I think Orton hurt himself in his first match, the shoulder or something. But those two guys, I don't even have to close my eyes open. I can picture John Cena cutting that promo on Kurt Angle and having that match. I don't remember the match, but I remember him walking out looking all fucking Savage Dragon and then getting in the ring and talking. And I mean, he really still sounds the same. He's cheesy, but it works, right? And like I said a million times to everyone that's mad at PG, we talked about this on other podcasts. The reason 93 happened and the business took a shit is because no one was paying attention to the kids, and everyone was just assuming the kids as they got older were going to stick with it. But it's like a cliff. It's like when the pigs all run to the fucking door and take a buckshot to the head, the first one that goes through it, then they run back and then they regroup and do it again. It's like, hey, dummy, the last guy didn't come back, you're not coming back. And so what Cena did, and what I think has worked for him for this, his fans got older, and this is what I thought you were getting at. You and I, we're older now, so we've seen a few legends for the Yankees, for the Red Wings, for the Tigers, for me, for the Rangers. But there ain't too many people that saw fucking Bruno and Backlund and Hogan and fucking Cena. Fuck it. Austin first and Rock Cena. He's that entire fucking time period for people. So you have people that are our age who saw him, people that are half our age that saw him, and everyone in the middle that saw him as their Bruno or their Hogan or their whatever. But they're all the same guy, whereas our parents were Bruno. Our younger uncle was Bob Backlund. We were Hulk Hogan. Our nephew was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, even though we were, but I mean, Hogan was first for us. And then
the generations find their person. That's what it is.
He's generational. And everyone else has their guy from their generation. We know about Bruno. We know about Backlund. We know about them from being commentators and crazy old men that do jumping jacks and came back and wrestled. But we don't know them in their prime. Cena is in his prime for all 20, because most of those guys that we're talking about, they're around for 2, 3, sometimes 6 years and then gone and then come back. And then they go and then they retire. This dude, obviously he's not around as much because he does movies. But for the most part, he's never ever left. He's just been there, and he comes when they need him. During COVID, he fucking showed up. I think The Rock did too. Did The Rock show up during COVID?
Maybe. I'm not too sure. I can't.
I think he did. I think he did. Anyway, he's a constant in a business that is constantly changing. The only constant is change in the wrestling business. Fucking John Cena is the constant. And yeah, Hogan has still been around 50 years, but he wasn't always around, and he went to other territories, if you will, promotions, all that. Because he was in WWE and then left and then came back to start Hulkamania. Cena is just absolutely a constant. I just heard an interview with Cody Rhodes or Reddit where he says, look, man, it's great to be the quarterback. It's great to be this. He goes, but I know something happens to me, the machine's still rolling. They don't need me. I'm just the guy right now. And I think that applies to every single person except John Cena. That dude is the machine, right? And
that's a very bold statement. You know, as WWE is the brand itself, as the machine, that, you know, if you leave, whether it's with good intentions, amicable, or fuck you, you know, like CM Punk, the machine still goes. So, you know, again, I still think the machine works without him. But what I'm saying is, you can always add him to the machine, and it's better. Oh, okay. It's not. He doesn't come back and people go, fuck that. He accentuates the machine, as you want to say. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. Let me just say this again. He had his debut, but again, the presentation, TW, you and I can both agree, was very plain. Again, he was trying to get away from the prototype character. He was trying to get away from his OVW stuff. But from that OVW time, TW, he did have the confidence to have the hand on the mic. No, did he? He had the confidence to speak for himself. So he didn't need no representation. But he knew that if he was going to stay in WWE, because there's always that story that Stephanie McMahon, who was doing the creative on the SmackDown side along with Paul Heyman, they were going to release him because they didn't feel like he had anything to offer. Like you said with the machine, he had nothing to accentuate the machine with that plain Jane Billy Gunn wearing shit. That was it. Even though The Undertaker, you know, gave him his daps after the match with Kurt Angle, it wasn't enough, Reflectionites. So even John Cena knew he had to change his character. And maybe a little bit late 2002, maybe around Christmas time 2002 to early 2003, the Doctor of Thugonomics was born, TW. And let's be clear here, Reflectionites. It wasn't meant to get over, because the original Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick, he had a tag team partner. That was Bull Buchanan, and he was called B Squared. So it was supposed to be a novelty act. But for some strange reason, people started noticing John Cena's raps. They were a little crude. They were a little bit animated. They were a little bit R-rated. And he knew how to kind of like, you know, toe the line, if you will, TW.
They were homophobic.
They were xenophobic, transphobic, whatever the case may be. I don't care. But
I love them. I don't care.
But he toed the line. But again, in my humble opinion, that character, along with Bull Buchanan, was meant to be a novelty act. That character, I think the ceiling was already there. He wasn't meant to main event WrestleManias. He wasn't there to be the guy.
He was the Bushwhackers.
There you go, TW. What say? Because again, let's talk about that before we talk about everything else. Because again, I think to me it was a novelty act with him and Bull Buchanan. Again, it was funny. It was, you know, it wasn't a bathroom break. It was something like, oh shit, he's gonna rap, then he might lose, or he might have a match with Guerrero or Mysterio, and then it would just be nothing. What say, TW, about the first incarnation of the Doctor of Thugonomics? Not the solo career, the first novelty career of the Dr. Thuganomics character.
I barely remember it, but I just remember it was overnight, and the next you know, he's the fucking U.S. champion with that spinner belt, which to me is still one of the sweetest looking belts ever. I like it way better than the spinner world title, that U.S. title, but I ain't paying $800 for that motherfucker. But if it ever comes down price, or if you guys want to chip in, the 12 of you each throw in $100 and buy it for me, that'd be great. But it was just like, damn, like this guy's over. Was it JBL that he went over on?
See, you're going a little bit ahead. I'm trying to like.
You said we're not going to be chronologically.
No, I know that, but again, I gave you a question, and then you go 2 years ahead.
I forgot about Bull Buchanan until you just said it, and then I was like, okay, I remember. They were kind of like cheesy.
It was a novelty act. That's why I said.
But it just clicked like overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I think it's no coincidence, and it's wrestling's always been this. I mean, everything. Hogan versus Iron Sheik was because we had the fucking Iran-Contra deal. So whenever you blend reality into wrestling, it tends to get over. It ain't batting 1,000 because they tried a million things that did not work, like Sergeant Slaughter, and they had to move the fucking WrestleMania to the smaller building because that wasn't getting over, right? But him basically being Eminem while Eminem was like fucking taking the world by storm himself, right? Like, by the way, you do know Eminem went to my high school while I was there, right?
No, you did not tell that.
Yeah, you didn't know that. Yeah.
No.
He literally, I got there in 10th grade. He was in 10th grade. I seen him like 2 or 3 times, and then he dropped out. The next semester, you see him a couple times. Then he dropped out, I think, by the second half of 11th grade. I never seen him again. Also didn't know that was him until all my buddies' little sisters would come up to me and go, hey, you went to school with Eminem. What was he like? And I'm like, who? Because he had dark hair in school, but his real name, how the fuck could I ever forget there was a Marshall Mathers in my school? Because I thought, I used to think the Beaver he's Jerry Mathers, but I thought his name was Marshall Mathers. So when I was in high school and there was a Marshall Mathers in the school, I seen him in the yearbook or whatever, and I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. We got to leave it to Beaver. And I was going to pick on him, right? But I never came across him, whatever. But yeah, so his first record was kind of a slow burn, and then bam, he just blew up. And Cena did the same thing. He was Bull Buchanan, whatever. It was funny. That's what I think. I also think a good laugh will make a wrestling fan like you. Like if you're funny. I think they're kind of killing Dom again. They're giving him the go home heat, whereas before it was they loved to boo him. But for whatever reason, they're kind of turning into that nasty heat on Dominic.
Oh, wait till he turns on Rhea at SummerSlam to be with Liv. So you know that's going to be real heat. But again, TW.
But it'll end up making them love him. But what I think I told you this story before. I was a bad guy in Lima, Ohio. And for whatever reason, there was a section that was cheering for me. And then the next month they come back, there's 2 sections cheering for me. Then the next month, there's 4. And the month that there was 2, the promoter told me, stop getting cheered. I'm like, I'm telling these people to suck my dick. What more can I do? I go, but what it ended up being was that first corner, when they were cheering for me, I told you a story about the Mountie, right? How he got me and my buddies to sing the whole match, and then when he lost, he turned on us. So I was doing that to them. I was like revving them on to cheer for me, and then at the end, I went over and fucking healed on one of them. Well, there were 3 of them or 4 of them. So the one I healed on, the other ones laughed at him. So they liked it. I don't know this. They come back the next month. They come back 10 deep. And they said 5 on this corner and 5 on this corner, because in their words, I'm friends with one of them now, Craig Morris. He said, yeah, man, we want him to get over. We want him to be cheered, because they don't realize, no, motherfucker, I'm a bad guy. I don't want you cheering me. Boo me to get me over. Don't cheer me. So that second month, they cheered me. And then the next month when they turned me good guy, because these fuckers, but I figured it out. I was so funny when I ripped on people that the people I wasn't ripping on laughed and then liked me because I made them laugh. And that's probably why Cena and Bull got over, is because they were funny enough that people went home thinking about that segment if they were live, or going to work the next day after seeing it on TV the night before and going, that was fun. It was a fun segment.
It just showed the ingenuity of John Cena understanding the business because, again, what was it? Let's just say an accident behind the scenes Reflectionites with doing the rapping, and Stephanie McMahon heard it and just said, let's just.
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah, everything was by accident. I mean, this character wasn't like created by Vince McMahon. This character was basically created on accident because John Cena said he loves hip hop and all that stuff. And he just, I think at the time, give or take, Rey Mysterio loves hip hop, with Conan and stuff like that. Rikishi was there, and we all know that Rikishi loves hip hop from the Bay Area and all that stuff, West Coast shit. So Cena was just doing it off the top of the dome, Reflectionites, and Stephanie heard it probably on a tour and stuff, and she just said, let's just put it on TV and see what happened. From a novelty act, Reflectionites, it turned into something. I think Bull Buchanan got injured, so he had to, do the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick alone. So again, he got the ball, TW. What happens when you get the ball? You run with it and all that stuff. So from that point on, again, those raps were crude. They were R-rated, but he knew how to toe the line a little bit. But then
innuendo.
A lot of innuendo. But what happened, like you said, TW, people just started liking it. People started, you wanted to boo him because, there were certain people. He was supposed to be the heel. It just happens.
Right.
Just like Stone Cold was supposed to be the heel, but people started cheering for him. It's the same thing. But the raps were funny. The raps just made sense. And sometimes even he made fun of The Undertaker. He made fun of Brock Lesnar as the heel, and those got cheers from what his raps was. And then and then the bell rang, and then of course The Undertaker beat your ass, and then Brock Lesnar F5 your ass and all that stuff. But what happens? You started to respect John Cena and the brass behind the scenes, like Vince McMahon said, let's see what happens. The momentum started rolling, and then, like you said, he got the United States title at WrestleMania 20 in Madison Square Garden. And then again, we're not going to talk about, there's so many matches, Reflectionites. This would be a 10-hour podcast. We can't do that to the 12th that ride strong. But anyway, TW, WrestleMania 20, one of the first, let's just say, what you saw on TV, the feats of strength of John Cena is he is incredibly strong. He picked up the Big Show like it was, again, he did the wrestling drama kind of move, like, oh, it's gonna hurt. Can I do it? But he picked that motherfucker up and did the FU on him. And people in Madison Square Garden said, he's there, he's the man, he's gonna be something big in the next.
That's the holy shit chance.
That's the holy shit chance. So what say TW? Because that momentum with the US spinner belt to Big Show, F5ing the Big Show at Madison Square Garden at WrestleMania 20, what say you for all that momentum building?
Well, I've been saving my favorite John Cena moment. We're not going chronological. As crazy as it was for him to do that to Big Show, he then, years later, does it to Big Show and Edge on top of the Big Show. It's insane. And people try to duplicate it to this day. It's like the Tower of Doom spot in the corner where you got the X Division always did it, where 5 guys would do triple power bomb superplexes, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? The Tower of Doom spot. That John Cena spot, there have been multiple people that try to do a version of F5ing 2 guys at the same time. It is insane. And again, whether it's steroids, it's obviously not steroids because they tested him for him, and he's always been clean for them, but it's probably HGH. But regardless of what it is, yes, this is my favorite thing about steroids and HGH. You ready for this? Because
go ahead.
Obviously, I was in the wrestling business for a long time.
It's funny you start the sentence, what's my favorite thing about steroids and HGH? Go ahead, TW.
This is it. Mm-hmm. I wrestled in high school. I wrestled professional from basically a couple years out of high school and still am around the business. I've met 1 million motherfuckers who have taken steroids and HGH and forgot to do the one other thing you have to do. You know what that is?
Fake a piss test?
Work out.
Oh.
These motherfuckers just take them and don't work out, and they just get fat and fucking sloppy looking. It's obvious. You can tell a guy who's on the gas, who's not working out, they still get the bitch hit, but they got another tip around that. And so this is how I always felt about the whole PEDs and baseball and all that. There's two things you can do. Accept it. Just fucking accept it, because 90% of your stars are on it. Or just fucking legalize it and level the playing field and let everybody fucking do it. And I promise you, the same fucking guys are going to be the stars. It's going to be McGuire. It's going to be Sosa. It's going to be Barry Bonds. It's going to be the guys who took them and then also did the work. Because you don't just take steroids and hit a fucking 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You have to actually practice hitting 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. So whenever I hear people talk shit like those guys shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, fuck that. Those guys still did the hardest thing to do in baseball. And by the way, they're not the only guys that took the drugs. Other guys did it and still struck out. So fuck you. It's just like Milli Vanilli won Best New Artist, not Best New Singer. They should get their Grammy backs. This is bullshit.
Absolutely. Everybody's singing on lip syncing on TikTok right now as we speak. Right. Reflectionites, but we digress on that. So with that being said, again, the moment at Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 20, again, the holy shit moment, like TW said.
My point of all that was, if whatever Cena's on, if he's on anything, ain't nobody else picking up Big Show and Edge at the same time and doing the F5 successfully. You know what I mean? There's a ton of guys on the gas. Ain't none of them doing that. So there you go. Now I digress.
There you go. Well, Cena doesn't take steroids, Reflectionites. I stand by Cena. He's all natural. But anyway, again,
I believe him.
I believe in Joe Hendry, and I believe in John Cena.
That's Ray's stick.
That's not Ray. He doesn't
miss Joe Hendry tonight because I got no power. He's on in like an hour,
give or take. But anyway, TW, that moment just told Vince McMahon that I think this man is ready for the big time. I think this man strapped the rocket to him. And again, a year later, WrestleMania 21, he wins his first WWE Heavyweight Championship against JBL. And
was that Eddie's first, or was Eddie's against Brock?
What are you talking about?
Was Eddie's first world title against JBL or Brock?
Brock.
He only won one, right? He died before he got the second one. I feel like JBL gave a lot of people their first world title win.
No, it was Cena.
Just Cena?
There you go. Now you almost made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, TW again. Now, since he's already got the rocket ship, there's too much. There's too many moments, Reflectionites. So we're gonna try to condense it as best as we can. But from that point on, TW, we know that he is the man or one of the top guys. It's himself, HBK, Triple H, Undertaker, and all that stuff. So he's part of that pillar, if you will, TW. But John Cena did it differently to a degree, because he took some chances. The first chance was the spinner belts. He did it with the US belt, and of course he did that with the World Heavyweight title. And whether you're a purist, Reflectionites, whether you're a traditionalist, or whether you're from the new era, the new age, TW, some people liked it, some people hated it. What say you on that? Because he took that chance. Again, we knew he's trying to be a wigger, Eminem wannabe. And then he kind of stopped doing the rap stuff, but he still had the look. He had the jorts, he had the shirts, he had the theme songs, but
and lock.
But there you go, and the lock too. But the spinner belts, he thought of merchandising. He thought of the other stuff behind the scenes. Not only about the match, not only about the story of the match to get you to the pay-per-views, TW. He was actually thinking about merchandising, the spinner belts and all that stuff, the shirts.
Because he probably knew the guys that sell merch get pushed. So if you're selling merch.
No, I want you to expound on that, because he took some chances. Like with the spinner belts, he was taking chances against traditionalists, because again, those IWC.
I hated that fucking world title. The US title, I didn't care because I really didn't. That's not my US title, right? That's my second favorite belt ever. Well, third favorite. The TV title's bigger than that to me, but Lex's belt, US belt. If that motherfucker would have made that US belt, like if Cody ever brought that bitch back, I throw my panties at him. But
Oh God.
that U.S. spinner belt was cool. I like that one, right? Because
Okay.
again, it's not your mom's U.S. title because it's not even NWA, it's WWE. But when he made that world title, it was so gaudy and so gross. It made. I'm not a huge fan of the big gold belt, Ric Flair's belt.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was gaudy and ugly and just too much, right? But it grew on me because I loved. They both beat him for it. I loved that the Edge belt, he got rid of the logo and put the rated R and still made it a spinner belt. And that belt actually looks a lot nicer to me than the WWE logo in there. But then the Miz beats him and then turns it upside down and turns the spin off. So it doesn't spin. It's that WWE logo upside down, so it looks like Mike Mazzinian, whatever, how do you say his name. I like how he does that with the microphone too. So, but am I glad it's gone? Yes. The belt they brought out for him and The Rock, I fucking hate that one too. Not a real big fan of the one Seth had or Priestley has now.
No, wait. I know you're going on the harangue, but again, the question is, he took chances on the merchandising for himself, which is a very smart.
But you said as a traditionalist fucking with them belts. I'm telling you, him doing that to that belt led to all these other ugly ass belts that we got. I don't like. I love the new U.S. title. I hated it at first, but I love the IC title.
That's not on Cena. That's just WWE doing their own thing. Cena was specific on what he was doing. Cena would never kind of like.
Right, but that logo that he had that spun around became that new belt that they gave Rock, and it became the Universal title, and it became basically the one that Cody has now. It's that same WWE logo that was in the spinner. So and they're gaudy. They're all gaudy. Like I like the simplicity of the NXT title, especially the current one, not the fucking rainbow. You know what I mean? That shape. I didn't like the one that looked like a big ass X that looked like they stole it from the X division. But that US belt that they have, Logan Paul has, that's like old school, beautiful. I guess you could still say it's gaudy because it's so big, but Cena was the guy, like, come on, everybody loves the fucking winged eagle. Everybody loves the big eagle, right? Those you know, those two belts.
Right.
After that, they got the fucking, well, I'm not a big fan of the undisputed belt that Brock had that looks like a tag team belt. But Cena doing that with that belt did two things. It offended some of the traditionalists, but it turned on people who didn't care about belts into buying them as toys. I got a fucking spinner belt in my house. It's a toy. My buddy bought it for me, and
that's what I mean, because what he did was he made it cool to collect belts,
right?
But that didn't mean that you liked wrestling, because then that's where there's this dichotomy, Reflectionites, because since now he's the man, because again, I might praise Cena for a lot of things, but I'm gonna be real, TW. You
like his butt the most.
It's a beautiful butt. But anyway, neither here nor there. But TW, let's be real here. Again, with I don't want to say the traditionalists, but again, the IWC martards. You know, people say that because Cena was on top. Now the rocket ship was on Cena, whether, you know, maybe the character was hokey and all that stuff. Everything he did, some people got turned off by him. Some people said, I stopped watching wrestling because Cena was on top. And again, but with the marketing that he did with the belts, that didn't mean you had to watch Raw. That didn't mean you had to watch SmackDown. But you knew who John Cena was because he differentiated himself. He transcended wrestling to a degree. I'm not saying he's, you know, transcended more than what Hogan did or transcended what Rock did or Austin, but he transcended wrestling because he took a chance marketing wise. Do you agree with that, or you have a different take?
And the beauty of it all, I mean, he's doing well in movies now, but the thing is he did transcend it, but he did it from wrestling. Those guys all had to leave and do other shit. Austin didn't, but Rock was big and then left and got hated for it, and now they love him because he came back. But Cena, all of it, like his movies fucking sucked in the beginning, right? It wasn't Hollywood that made him get
the
bigger.
Marine was still good. The first Marine, his Marine was good.
But it was straight to video or USA Network, whatever.
That ain't his problem. He was being loyal to Vince. I'm just saying. I digress. Go ahead.
I get it, but it's just some people just have it, man. He's one of them, and you know, another one of my favorite matches. I was there, WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. It was Cena versus my hero, Shawn Michaels, and one of my co-heroes, and that entire fucking place was cheering for John Cena. I'm there with my ex-wife, mad as fuck that the crowd was booing Michaels because he was the good guy, and Cena was also a good guy, I think. And everyone's making fun of me, and it was awesome. That match was awesome because it was everyone in my section was into it and interacting with each other, and everyone's healing on me because I'm cheering for Shawn. Because I think the way they set it up, it was kind of like Shawn with the Undertaker. It wasn't like he was a bad guy, but he was the bad guy in that situation because he wanted to stop Cena. I can't remember what it was, but
it's funny. It's funny you say that because now it goes into another parallel of the subject we're going to talk about with John Cena, the polarization reflectionites. Right. So I know I didn't mean to cut you off because again, everything comes with this, and you can expound on your experience with Shawn Michaels because I kind of disagree with you because I saw it on TV. It sounded more like a 75-80% Michaels, 20% Cena. So
I'm talking about my section.
Oh, your section.
My section was all cheering for John Cena. I was the only motherfucker. There might have been one other guy going, "I got you." I don't remember, but
the building.
Everyone, when Shawn tapped out, everyone looked at me and laughed in my section, including my ex-wife.
I'm just saying, but on TV it sounded 80-20. But again, neither here nor there. But the polarization, TW, is with the Marktars that hated him on the computer, the Dave Meltzer fans, the Alvarez fans that hate him to such an umpteen degree, caused actually a beautiful environment, if you will, Reflectionites. I hate to say this. You had the children and the women that loved John Cena, and you had the Marktard virgins that hated Cena. And then you heard those chants, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." But then, TW, let's talk about that atmosphere because, again, it's fun. Again, you and I, for selfish reasons, wanted to fuck with the virgins, the Marktard virgins, and they deserved it. But I already said when I started respecting him, you said when you started respecting Cena, but certain dudes just started respecting Cena for what he was doing because he was just taking it. He never, felt that he had to give in to the pressure or, let's just go heel. Let's go heel, and then they'll like me again, and then we redo this shit. Cena took it as a badge of honor, maybe a badge of courage. I might be looking at this from a fandom point of view. TW might have to expound this on the wrestler point of view, but he said, no, I'm not turning heel. We might do it. What if John Cena turned heel at a perfect moment? What would have been the perfect moment for him to turn heel? But TW, he never wanted to change that character for the kids. He never wanted to change that character for the charities. He never wanted to change that character for the branding of John Cena and maybe the branding of WWE because he, like you said, within that machine, he felt like there was a responsibility for being that man and taking that kind of hit from the IWC Marktard version. So let's say, because now you could go on your Shawn Michaels experience being in that section that you was the only one cheering for.
Well, just to answer your question, long story short, he didn't need to. It's proof now. It's obvious he didn't need to because maybe he does that. And maybe that's just his swan song, and he's done after that because he never can get back to being what he is now. Now, when he comes back, people are like happy to see him. Everyone, right? But when he was wrestling that Shawn match, that area I was in, they were all cheering for him, and I was up in the fucking nosebleeds. So, but what I would like to say is, and I said the greatest wrestling angle in the last 20, 25 years was Rock Cena. The one before that, which is quite possibly to me the greatest ever, is fucking Bret Hart being cheered in every country but the U.S. and booed in the U.S. And then they boo Austin, who was the most popular guy in the U.S. everywhere he went. If he was against Bret, it's remarkable. Cena somehow did that every night, no matter what building he was in. These people cheered, these people booed. And I remember in the beginning feeling bad for him, right? Which means it's working. When you got a dumbass who's in the business still feeling bad for him. It only happened one other time. It was when Shawn Michaels super kicked Bret Hart in that wheelchair and he fell back in it. I literally got mad because I'm like, how the fuck are you going to do that to him? Like, he really fucking super kicked him in the wheelchair, right? That means they had me right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same time frame, I hated that it looked like they were feeding Bret booze and Austin cheers, which I was also at that match, WrestleMania 13, Bret and Austin, the double turn. And leading up to that, I was mad because I'm like, what the fuck are they doing, man? They're making these people boo Bret more. And then the light bulb went on. I'm like, duh, the fuck. They were planning the double turn all along, and there's no denying it was the right move. And Cena staying heel or staying face. Because here's what happens if you turn him heel. You ready?
Well, all right.
The people who hate him might start liking him because he's a heel, but they might still hate him. And then the people that loved him, the women and the children, are certainly going to not love him anymore if he turns on them. So now he went from being the cash cow who split the fucking crowd like nobody in the history of the business to being hated by everyone and basically 3 months away from getting released. And that's the risk. And yeah, everyone wants to say, if he turns heel, it'll be like the NWO all over again. Yeah, well, remember when Hogan first did it? The fucking building was littered from fucking top to bottom from people throwing shit at them because they weren't happy because that's the guy who turned on the kids and the women was Hogan, right? And eventually, yes, it did get over, right? 2-3 weeks into it, it fucking blew up. But it's a different day and age. It's a different fan base. But it's 10 years later for Cena to do it. And if he does it and it doesn't work, it's probably you're not recovering from it.
Yeah, it's a very risky proposition, Reflectionites. So, with that being said, TW, again, the polarization of the matches itself, like Cena versus Edge, just like you said, is a great example. He got booed out the building in Toronto when he fought Edge in I think it was SummerSlam or something. I think it was a ladder match in Canada that Cena won, where he was booed out the building and people were cheering for Edge. And this is the rated R superstar, TW. Remember this. And he lost his match. Everybody in Canada, the backwards mentality was, Edge is our hero. He's going to win this match. No, Cena won. And people were semi-pissed, but people started respecting John Cena. I'm just giving that example. We could use another example, TW, and we could use CM Punk from 2011, TW. That electricity in Chicago, Illinois. You went to a Chicago Blackhawks game. You know that vibe, and all that stuff.
WrestleMania in Chicago.
And that's too. But again, TW, the vibe of that was CM. That is CM Punk country. When you're in, and again, that sign came about. If Cena wins, we riot. I think it was Money in the Bank 2011 that he got it. That he fought CM Punk and lost the title and all that stuff. It's not about who went the matches that he won or lost, but TW.
That towards the pipe bomb?
That was after the pipe bomb.
Yeah, the contract running out.
Yeah, the contract run out. So let's say TW, let's use CM Punk as an example because, like you said, he put some people over. He put Edge over. He put, CM Punk over. He put the Miz over. So let's say about
RVD.
And RVD. So let's say about that moment of CM Punk, because he needed the pipe bomb made the Mark Tart say, yes, thank God somebody said this. And so Vince McMahon can hear it. But you still had John Cena to give the seal of approval because it had to be him to have his shoulders on the mat for CM Punk to get to the next stratosphere. So let's say about the contribution of Cena putting people over, or did he put people over?
Give some examples. He's one of the fucking we don't even. There's a fucking very short list of who Hogan did that for. We've already doubled it. He did it for the Warrior, and he did it for
Goldberg.
Fucking Goldberg, but he was a heel when he did that. But that's what I think makes Cena world loved or loved by all. Is you don't know if he's winning. You know, and that's the funny thing is what was the criticism of him? Super Cena fucking kicks out of everything. I don't see nobody fucking talking shit about the Young Bucks super kicking everybody and call them Super Young Bucks, and they book it. But he would get in a match. No fucking buddy in their right mind would have thought in front of 2,000 people at the Hammerstein Ballroom John Cena was going to lose the fucking RVD. Nobody. And then he fucking did. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then losing to Shawn, or he beat Shawn at 23, but getting his ass whooped. Was it Brock that just fucking pummeled him and beat him like nobody's business?
SummerSlam 2014, Brock Lesnar beat the tar out of John Cena during that match for the title.
Undertaker did it to him. Fucking at that WrestleMania, we begged the Undertaker to wrestle him. He has lost every bit as much as he's won, and it hurt him none. He's somebody other people should look at and go, this fucking guy, isn't he? He's a 16-time former champion, right?
Yeah, he is. But TW,
so that means he lost it 16 fucking times.
That too. But you said something that maybe people don't understand. Why in those kind of like instances where he put people over, the RVDs, he lost to Shawn Michaels the night after WrestleMania. I think it was an Iron Man, not like a marathon match, like a 30-minute marathon match where Shawn Michaels got the win. But again, neither here nor there. That's logistics. But TW, why did it not hurt Cena? Maybe his legacy or his position, if you will, with taking those losses. Like certain people you see, when they take a loss, they go lower on the tier of storytelling. They go lower on the tier of the card. Why did Cena never get affected in his prime, if you will, TW, with taking losses?
If we had power in my house, I was going to be holding the fucking towel. This is never give up. And that's what his gimmick was, and he'd lose, and he'd come back, and he won it 16 times, he lost it 16 times. So he persevered, if you will. Whereas other guys, it's a different day and age. You lost the belt, you went to the back of the line. These days, you lose your belt, you go on vacation like Roman, right? Gunther went on vacation after a long reign. But I think the thing that is best about this, you're talking to me. I use the Jerry Maguire reference all the time. Once I trained to be a wrestler, once I've been at a puppet show and I've seen the strings, I will never be a fan like I was when I was a kid again. It's not possible because I'm watching it and I'm critiquing it. I'm watching things that maybe someone else doesn't even notice. I'll watch somebody fuck up, but I'm now looking to see how they cover it. And I'm always like, all right, they cover that good. I'm not a hateful critic. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, nice cover, stuff like that. One of my pet peeves, and it was Scott D'Amore beat this into us, literally. When you try a spot and you fucking botch it, you do not get up and run that spot again. And I see guys doing that all the time. All the fucking time. Especially if it's the finish. But you got John Cena. He's been involved in more than one botch. And then they fucking caught an audible and finished it a different way. That's a sign of a good fucking star. But my point about the puppet show and the strings, there's so many times, there's nothing better than watching a wrestling match, assuming you know who's going to win, and the fucking other guy does. It's a thing of beauty because you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like, it felt like, and
TW, the perfect example of Cena putting somebody over, maybe that people didn't expect, was actually The Rock. Nobody expected that first one-on-one that everybody thought that Super Cena was going to be triumphant over The Rock.
2 years in a row at WrestleMania because he lost to The Miz and then he lost to The Rock.
I just wanted to give that example. So go ahead, TW.
That's enough. There's a match that I'm talking about. RVD, no way he's losing, lost. Fucking Miz, no way he's losing, lost. All right, they did it good. They had The Rock cost them, but still, holy shit, good for you, Miz. Miz is the first guy I fucking talked back to me when I did the Survivor Series thing, because nobody would fucking talk to him. He didn't pay his dues. Here that fucking guy is, 19 years later. He's still there, fucking highly decorated. So it's kind of funny because all these guys that he put over are all still relevant, even RVD. So for all the people that like the fucking Kennedys and the fucking who's the other fucking guy? I don't think Ryback, but there's Mr. Kennedy shits on fucking Cena and fucking Orton all the time. Yeah, where the fuck is he? He's not lighting AEW up, is he? He's
No,
not lighting Impact up.
He's bouncing checks from his students or something like that.
So
I don't
all
know.
these guys that he did put over are still fucking relevant one way or another. And all the guys he supposedly refused to put over are nobodies. So you tell me, was he right? And obviously, if you had Kennedy sitting right here, well, I'm a nobody because you didn't put me over. If you'd have put me over, you'd have made me. Yeah, well, no one else did either. So, and I like Kennedy, Anderson, whatever the fuck he's called. I like that guy. I thought he had potential. But I also heard stories that he ain't the fucking funnest guy to be around. So that's what people fail to fucking remember is we talk about it with Scott Hall. Scott Hall is the reason Scott Hall was never a world heavyweight champion, right? Love him.
Right.
He's in my top 10 for sure, probably higher than that. But he got in his own way. And now, there you go. You just said the fucking guy has a school and he's bouncing checks. He's a connie. He's a con artist. He's a carny. And if Cena said, I ain't putting him over, and Orton's problem was he was unsafe.
Well,
so why would you be mad at Orton if you're unsafe?
I'm going to be fair. Alex Riley, you talk about the Miz.
That's the other fucking guy. Alex Riley.
Alex Riley has some issues with John Cena. But again, neither here nor there. We're celebrating John Cena.
He's over. He's fucking selling out arenas. He sold out Wembley for All In, that guy.
All right, now you're funny. But anyway. But
that's my point.
Let's put it like this, TW, because again, we probably might do 2 hours. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to condense this as best as I can because TW is in his car. I don't know if the AC is working right now, Reflectionites. So
I just turned it back on.
I know because he's sweating right now. His bald head is glistening as I see it right now on the video screen. But anyway, TW, let's talk about some of those rivalries, if you will. What was the best rivalry for TW, the John Cena experience?
Fucking Rock. I just told you that.
Jesus Christ. All right. Rock. Besides The Rock.
And actually, even more so than the wrestling, I love the wrestling feud. I love how they are now, where Rock looks at him like a little brother. And it turns out it was Cena that wronged The Rock, with the stuff. And Cena's a man enough to say, here I am talking about part-timer, which we can blame Punk for putting that in his head. And he goes, and then here I'm doing it. He goes, and until you're in the position, he goes, I love doing this. I love coming back. I don't ever want to just give it up. And who am I to give The Rock shit for doing the same thing? But they're, have you ever seen it? Cena come through and Rock just kind of hugged. Cena put his head down and he kind of hugged him. It was like a big brother, little brother moment. All of that shit. It was real life. It was real heat. It was two guys who fucking first and foremost are professionals, even though they
technically Cena is the bigger brother because he was born a couple of weeks earlier. I'm just saying.
Right, but The Rock's the bigger fucking deal.
I know. I'm just saying.
Maybe not anymore. They're probably parallels now, but my point is, it had everything. It had reality. It had but they were professionals about it. And this is funny. It's kind of an act of non-professionalism in the middle of ending up being very professional. It's still one of my favorite moments in the history of wrestling. In your house, Mankind versus Shawn Michaels, and Shawn just gets sick of him fucking up and just beats the shit out of him. And then they turn that right into a spot and fucking get the match back on track. It's fucking golden.
It's funny you didn't talk about with Cena and The Rock, Reflectionites. Let's just say the heat between each other because, like you said, about the part-timing shit and all that stuff. But there was one moment during the promo, the promo wars, Reflectionites.
Yeah,
Rock, can't remember everything, so he kind of does bullet points on his hands. Cena was somebody told this to Cena,
stood him off. Yeah,
and then Cena, with his rapper's mentality, his thinking on top of it, thinking on his feet, if you will,
reading the room.
He's reading the room and then put it out there. I don't know. And again, it wasn't planned, but
that was the dagger. That's the one that started the heat.
But again, Rock took it like a champ. Rock was professional, unlike Hangman Page and CM Punk and all that stuff. But it's just an example of they can get at each other, TW, but they still know it's a business. But also, it's nice to have Vince McMahon in the back saying, being the exalted ruler. So he wasn't going to let it get, worse. There was never going to be a
still guys that have been in that company who did not do business, if you will. They were not professional.
But I want to say this again. You're going to keep saying The Rock, but I'm going to say this because, again, the feuds that he had, especially during his time as being the guy, you know, he had some matches with Shawn Michaels. He had matches with Kurt Angle. He had matches with Edge. He had matches with Christian. He had, again,
my second favorite feud is him and Edge.
And again, one of, you know, people kind of like make fun of this, but his storied rivalry, it's like Godzilla versus, you know, not King Rodan, Kong. But not King Kong. I would say he's Godzilla and Randy Orton is Ghidra, Monster Zero, because that was the one that was his toughest test. That was, you know, the guy that kind of like got one up on him and all that stuff.
They were Shawn and Brett.
They were Shawn and Brett, but they fought. It felt like they fought for like 20 years. It doesn't matter. Whatever paper, it was like Backlash, Randy Orton against John Cena.
WrestleMania should be in there too, though, right? Other than him leaving.
Well, Batista had that they fought each other WrestleMania and SummerSlam. There was that part in like 2009.
And then the Royal Rumble finish.
Yeah, and the Royal Rumble finish. So, you know, again, Reflectionites, I'm trying to condense this because, again, TW is, you know, he's sweating right now off the top of his dome. So I'm just trying to help him out too. But I gotta point all this out. So, you know, with rivalries and all that shit. But I want to leave this on another note, TW. Again, as the decades went on, TW, even Cena knew that he couldn't stay on top forever. Even Cena knew he couldn't be the main event at every WrestleMania or every SummerSlam. What did he do what he did was another kind of gamble that finally got the IWC Virgin Mark Cards to say, you know what? Cena's okay. He took a step down to go and capture the United States Championship belt again in 2015, and then started the John Cena Open Challenge. That belt meant nothing after 2003 because can you name a lot of U.S. champions? I can't. Not off the top of my head. Miz probably
you and I would sit here and someone would throw out fucking 17 guys that won that U.S. title, and we
you know who will do that? Josh Floberg will do that. Josh will do it.
Right.
Josh will.
But here's the thing: it's because everybody fucking held it. That's the problem, right?
But the prestige that John Cena in 2015 put on the U.S. title, but he said it to him. He did it for himself. No, not for himself, but he understood. Like you said, he read the room. I don't want to be up there. I don't want people to get, you know, sick of me, bored of me, or just be envious of me and all that stuff. He took a step down. He took a rung down, legitimately himself. He said, "I'm doing
two rungs down because it's still beneath the IC title."
But people said that with him holding that U.S. belt, he made it more prestigious than the IC belt. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying he had to bypass the IC belt to get it and then bring it above it.
Right.
I'm saying
so
WWE is IC.
Well, besides the point. Again, logistically, we're not talking about that. But what say you about him accepting that role to go a rung or two rungs down for the U.S. Open challenges of 2015? What say you, TW?
It was awesome, and it made Kevin Owens. He's fucking still around today because of that open challenge.
And he lost to Kevin Owens. I'm just giving the reminders, you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't
he NXT champ when he beat him and won the U.S. title?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means he put Owens.
Well, I don't know if he won the U.S. title. I don't think he was he wasn't a double champion, Kevin Owens. He just won it when he was the NXT champion. He just beat him. I think in the rematches, he couldn't win the U.S. belt.
Yeah, okay. But it still made him. Made him.
Remember those open challenges, Reflectionites? Kevin Owens, Rusev, Cesaro. Where is he now? Sami Zayn and all that stuff.
He's in catering.
I ain't saying nothing. That's on TW. Slide it to his DMs. No Diddy on that. But those U.S. Open challenges on Raw TW, those were special and all that stuff. So I just wanted to point that out. So, you know, again, TW, let's try to put a bow on this because his 16th and final World Championship reign happened again with one of the greatest matches of John Cena's life, but he had a great dance partner, and that was AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble 2017. I just wanted to
also made AJ.
Well, AJ was already made. Huh?
No, but I'm saying he came in Royal Rumble, and wasn't it that WrestleMania he wrestled AJ?
No,
His
he
first
wrestled him
one?
at Royal Rumble. He wrestled him for the title. Cena won the title.
No. AJ debuted at the Royal Rumble, and didn't they fight each other at WrestleMania? That was his first WrestleMania was against Cena?
No, that was Jericho. He fought him like at a Money in the Bank. He fought him at Backlash. He was bringing back the Bullet Club type shit. But
right.
But like you said, they had their programs. But I just wanted to talk about the Royal Rumble because AJ is a great dance partner. AJ is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, past, present, and future. Again, that's another debate for another day. But TW, what say you? Because that was his last legitimate heavyweight championship reign. So what say you about that?
And that's what I mean. But obviously, AJ was already over in the world. But when he comes to WWE, and maybe people do, maybe people don't know him, because there is still a lot of that. There is obviously mutual fans between WWE and other wrestling, but there are people that watch only WWE wrestling. Hence, fucking WrestleMania having 72,000 people 2 days in a row, and fucking every other pay-per-view not in Wembley with fucking drummed up ticket sales, fucking having 4,000 or 8,000.
You had to put that dig in, but go ahead.
What I'm saying is when AJ got there, you had the ooh, right? And then I guess it was Jericho, he went right in there. But when AJ beat Cena for the world title, I think that's who he beat.
No, he beat Jinder Mahal for the title.
Yes. And then got his ass beat by Brock. But that was a good match, him versus Brock. It was almost as good as the Bryan Danielson. That's the first time I've ever called him that. Daniel Bryan match with Brock. That made me think he was going to win when I thought he's not going to win. Anyway.
Again, we're not going with logistics. I'm just saying, but like you said, Cena, AJ needed someone to validate him. I understand that. It was John Cena to validate him. Win, lose, or draw, AJ was validated.
It made the decision to bypass NXT because so AJ I would compare to Jericho. Jericho comes in with the fucking countdown. There is no NXT back then, and there's some that say it fell flat. Others said it was a success. He gets told to shut the fuck up by The Rock on his first thing. People were mad about that. I disagree. I think when the first fucking guy you interact with is The Rock, I think you've arrived. But they felt like it wasn't working, and then for somehow put that undisputed title on him, and then now we got Jericho's career as one of the greatest ever. AJ came in and could have had the same fate, except for boom, right out the gate, he's with Jericho, he's with whoever, and then Cena, and it's like, oh, well, no wonder this guy didn't have to go to NXT. He's legit, he's the goods, and he beat Cena at least once.
He did on one of those B-level pay-per-views, but it wasn't for the belt.
Okay, whatever, but he still beat him. My point is, Super Cena is a myth. Because the motherfucker, they said he has action figure at the Super Kick-Out feature. When you lay him on his back, he kicks out.
No, but Cena validated, just like you're saying, like people did not know AJ Styles. They might have not known his TNA career. They might have not known his New Japan accomplishments. But Cena, having that program with Cena for the belt, even though Cena won the title, that was his last legitimate 16th, whatever. That's neither here nor there. Who did Cena lose it to in 2017? I want to say maybe Seth Rollins. I'm not too sure. I'm not trying to keep up with all that shit. I'm just putting the last time he won the belt in 2017 at the Royal Rumble, legitimized AJ Styles. It validated AJ Styles no matter what, TW. That's what we're trying to say. Cena does put a stamp on it. And that was one of the best matches that Cena ever had. Well, for the Marktards, that was the 5-star match that Cena had, even though Dave Meltzer didn't say it was 5 stars. But
didn't Cena do a couple fucking things off the top rope? Like he did a bunch of moves he never did before in that match.
He always does like that top rope leg drop. Sometimes he hits it, sometimes he misses it, sometimes it looks ugly. But that Royal Rumble match,
that's his nod to Hulk Hogan, his favorite hit wrestler as a kid.
Right, but that match, again, it validated AJ Styles, but that was one of the best matches that John Cena ever had in his life. So, with that being said, there's nothing, I'm not going to say there's nothing really left because, again, we don't really need to talk about the waning days because, again, he comes in as a part-timer. He puts people over. He put Roman Reigns over to validate what he's doing.
Austin Theory,
and all that stuff. So it's not really like his worth is being more of a diplomat. His worth right now is being the ambassador when it's needed. Now, let me ask you this question, TW, because again, maybe for a traditionalist, maybe for a purist, because again, when your heroes get older, like Bruno, like Ric Flair, like Pedro, and all that stuff, when you're the fan of them in their prime and you see them get older, right, TW? Sometimes you're like, I don't want to see my hero look like that. It's a shell of themselves. So do you agree with the assessment now that for Cena's, let's say, part-time stuff that he's done against Roman, Austin Theory, and all that stuff, has it diminished the legacy of what he's doing? Do you feel like certain people who were like idolize Cena saying, I don't want to see Cena in that role. He shouldn't be losing to Austin Theory. He maybe people thought he shouldn't lose to Roman Reigns, but he knew for the betterment of the business, for the betterment of the machine, Roman Reigns needed to get to another level. But what say TW about his legacy alone? Because again, the older you get, you don't want to see your heroes embarrass themselves to a degree.
For me, it's he can't keep doing it. Like, if all he does is come back and lose, then why the fuck bring him back? He beat Bray Wyatt, right? That NWO fucking Funhouse match.
No, he lost. He lost that.
He did lose. Right. And then he lost to Roman, and I remember thinking, well, he's got to win one of them, and of course, he's going to beat Austin Theory and bury him because I like Austin Theory, and he beat him, and it's like, okay. And then he got fucking destroyed by Solo, and it's like, if that's all he's going to be, he's become Omar Atlas, already in the ring, right? So I think this run here, I think it can't be all wins, right? Otherwise, it's too obvious. But I would like to see him get a win on Austin Theory, get a win on Solo Sikoa, get a win, maybe not on Reigns, maybe team with Reigns, and get the win in a tag match.
How about get a title to get to 17 and kind of like unofficially have the record?
But that's what I'm saying. I wanted to lead to him wrestling. Everyone knows this is his last match. He's wrestling for the world title and win it, and then retire as champ. That's what I want. And then if you do it at WrestleMania or Payback, then the King of the Ring can be for the World Heavyweight title, and we can make that great again. The King of the Ring.
Well, we're not fantasy booking. But again,
I'm telling you, that's what I would like to see. That would make all those losses worth it if he gets a little bit of them back. Obviously, can't get Bray Wyatt back, but like, instead of beating Solo 1-on-1, him and Roman versus Solo and whoever the fuck, and he pins Solo. That would be a good.
But TW, any more losses hurts the legacy because that's that. But again, we're both.
But he can't win them all either. He's got to have more wins than losses on this Kumbaya tour. But the next one has to be wins. He can't. His first match, whatever the fuck it's going to be. Is this a SummerSlam?
Again, they haven't really said when he's going to do.
Because they were going to make SummerSlam him versus Logan Paul, and they stuck with the LA Knight. If he had lost to Logan, fuck, just retire today, buddy. Like, what the fuck?
That's the problem, because if he wins, the Marktars are going to say that why is Cena there? Again, you can't make everybody happy. That's the problem I have.
The Marktars don't matter. I'm going to tell you who he's going to beat. You ready? Everyone he does beat, especially if it's Logan Paul, he beats Logan Paul. If he beats, I think Solo was better when he didn't talk. I think he's horrible now. That's my opinion, right? His clothes are terrible. The way he talks is terrible. He doesn't look anything at all like the fucking mercenary. He was the Arn Anderson, damn it. And all of a sudden he's fucking talking. But anyway, if it's Logan Paul, if it's Austin Theory, if it's Drew McIntyre, any of these guys, do you know what's going to happen right after they lose to him?
What?
They're going to turn babyface and they're going to get huge. That's what's going to happen to them as good guys, because that's what you do. You have them beat the guy who needs that last loss and then turns good guy, or bad guy. If he beats a good guy in a scientific match. Ooh, we haven't heard that term in a long time. And then that guy fucking turns on him, and now he's the biggest heel. You know what I mean? Heels can lose and not fucking lose the night of sleep, right? Depending on what they do next. But if you lose to John Cena in his comeback tour, and you're Logan Paul, mark my words, and losing to Cena would be helping it. He is going to be one of the most popular wrestlers ever. I can see him beating Dom because people would want to see him beat Dom.
Who, Cena?
You just gotta give a reason for the match to happen.
Cena against Dom? Yeah. That could be something. So with that being said, Reflectionites, we're almost gonna close, but I just want to put a validation because again, I held the tears. I did hold my tears because again, I just wanted to be strong for the Reflectionites. I wanted to be strong for TW. I wanted to be strong for the Magnificent Seven. So I'll just say this because again, I don't know if we'll ever see, let's say, a legacy, a lineage, a longevity that we've had with John Cena. I mean, again, 20 years, the consistency, yes. Because let's just put it this way, TW, from 2002 to 2000, and I'll be nice, 2018. I'm going to be fair there with that number. That's 16 years. Not many wrestlers can say they were consistently on TV in a high-profile situation for 16 straight years.
You know who could do it?
Who?
I'm not a fan of his, but you know who can do it? Because he's got to be fucking closing in on 10 if he hasn't already.
Who?
Is Seth.
Seth Rollins? Yeah, well, he's been there. He's been full-time, barring the injuries. He's been there. Right. He's been towing that line. But, again, I don't know if we're going to
somebody that never left is my
point.
Like,
but the difference is with Cena and Rollins. Rollins thinks he's the guy. He's never been the guy.
Right.
So yeah. Cena's been the guy. So that's the thing. It's like, because Paul Heyman said it himself. Why John Cena is the GOAT, and Paul, and you know me, Paul Heyman's my guy. He's ECW through and through. And when Paul Heyman said this, people gotta, no one can say that Paul Heyman is wrong because Paul Heyman said, well, the Austin era only lasted for maybe 3 years. The Rock era only lasted for 3 or 4 years tops. Again, I said he was on top. Technically, he was on top since 2005. So 2005 to 2018, that's 13 straight years on top. People can say, well, Ric Flair's been on top. I'm talking about consistently on TV. Again, NWA and all that stuff, we don't, it is what it is. Ric Flair was the man in NWA, TW. We can't dispute that.
Was on TV?
He was on TV a lot, and then he left to go to WWE, so he wasn't the man there. So again, like you always tell you go back, but then you're never quite on top. And then when he went back to WCW, Ric Flair was one of the guys. He wasn't the top guy. So
they treated him worse.
Right. So, but Cena's been the guy. So again, you name Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, now he's.
I mean, The Miz has been there the whole time too,
but he's not top. He's
right. He was fucking way bottom. He was way bottom at some point.
No. But I'll never dispute longevity. Again, I applaud people for longevity, but longevity on top, it's gonna be. I don't know who's gonna have that torch to be that consistent and be on top because John Cena's been on top. And again, Josh, I know you'll be going into the labs of YouTube saying, well, Professor, I think this guy was on top a lot. And then, people might say Hulkamania was on top. Hulkamania has been a legacy, but even Hulkamania, it was 84 and 94. That was 10 years. Then he stopped. Then he went to WCW.
And 94, 93, 92 really don't fucking count.
Right. So, again.
I'd say Hogan was 84 to fucking 90. Because after Warrior beat him, he was not the same.
You're being fair. So, that's 6 years. And Cena's been 16. So, again, Reflectionites, I'm not trying to be biased here, but John Cena, with the longevity and being on top with that longevity, says he's the greatest of all time. So, TW, any closing thoughts?
Ironically, he ain't the prototype because there ain't nobody else done it.
There you go.
He's the only type.
That too. Any closing thoughts, and then we'll get out of here?
No, I'm stunned, dude. I watched nothing on purpose. That's why I told you. You lead, I follow. Because I'm like, I'm either going to remember shit or I'm not. And I started remembering shit as we were talking that I had forgotten about. But there's no doubt, man. This guy he deserves everything he gets, and he gives back. That's key. The reason I didn't like The Rock for a long time is he didn't give back. He gives back now. So if we ever want to do one of these on The Rock, I do one on The Rock too. And it's just Cena, and it seems like Cena's a nice dude. Like, you don't hear too many, other than when he fucking pissed The Rock off, and then those two fucking J-Brones that never went on to do anything else. Ryback probably still talks shit about him. He's one of those guys that if you hear somebody say something bad about him, it says more about them than it does about John Cena, because nobody else says it. And we forgot the real important thing that he has in common with the next president of the United States of America, with Biz Markie, God rest his soul. He don't sleep. He sleeps like an hour to 2 hours every 3 days.
Then goes to the gym.
You know that?
And goes to the gym.
Yeah, he don't sleep. Him and Trump and that Biz Markie, that album was called The Biz Never Sleeps. Casey Kasem explained it to me as a young lad. He said he has, and I forget the name of it, the affliction. It's not a disease. He said he sleeps every 3 days, 1 to 2 hours. I'm like, fuck, what? Fuck that. That means when you're 60, you would feel 90.
No wonder he looks 60 right now with that bald spot on his head.
Right.
With that being said, we close, and a little bit of tear comes down my eye. We close on this PWR spotlight, celebrating the greatest of all time, John Cena. So, what are we gonna do next time, Reflectionites? I don't know. I'm just so clipped right now. I'm so emotional. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'll find something to do. Episodic, another spotlight, a movie. I'll figure it out.
We'll probably do a movie. Do a movie.
Maybe we'll do that firefighter movie.
Christmas in July.
No, we're gonna do that John Cena firefighter movie that TW loves so much. But anyway, don't give me that.
Okay,
again, I don't know what we're gonna do. Reflections, but again, I keep you on your toes. So TW, I know the computer's down, so just shout out the people on the social media.
All right, you can follow what's
Probationary.
What's it stand for again? PWC.
Pro Wrestling Coalition.
So the Pro Wrestling Coalition and Hameen Media, you can find them both at podbean.com. Hameen Media is on X too, right? Okay. Then you got all just look up Tommy Wonder on any social media. You're probably going to find multiples on Facebook and on the others. Big Ray is on every single social media app, including Grindr, at Big Ray Hernandez. Every Wednesday, catch him live with the, what's it called?
Next Level Wrestling Podcast.
The one he wants us to do with him, Next Level Podcast.
I've already done Next Level every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on YouTube.
Yeah. And then you got Big Vito and Noel at TikTok.com, right? That's what they're on. And then Big Ray's Twitter, X, is the early release of these videos every week.
There you go. And you can follow me on my X at PWhustle PRF. That's PWhustle Prof. And I don't know, A-Track Brown doesn't like John Cena, so I do not expect this video to be on the YouTube networks because A-Track just doesn't like John Cena. I do. So I'm going to try to fight for all the Reflectionites to get this on the YouTube, but most likely see the video on X. But anyway, neither here nor there. So follow my brothers in arms, A-Track Brown, the city at the number 8, TRAC Brown, and of course, Billy Ray Valentine at Obi-Wan You Know Me. And for that, John Cena, we can't see you. I'm the professor. That's Mr. Wonderful, Dum Dum Durated Its Own, the Iron Stomach One, and the man, the Storm Chaser himself, extraordinaire. Tommy Wonder saying good night, and we'll see you next time here at the PWR Podcast at the Hameen Media Group at podbean.com. Peace.
My flag kicked out. It's waving again.
Cool.